Happy Mother's Day. This practice is for mothers and everybody else. So last week we talked a little bit about, well, we didn't talk, I talked, about focus and concentration, and since that time I've had some time to read and think about it and try to improve on this little practice for me. So today we are still working on focus, but if the body is not relaxed, then the mind is not going to relax. So today I thought would be a perfect day to introduce a very simple, basic concept that I seem to have been missing, and that is awareness, and just awareness of your breath. And I think Mother's Day is the perfect day for this, as our connection to our first mother is sometimes not easy to access or lost to us, and so I think this is a great day to try to connect with that universal love that is a mother's love, regardless of if your mother is still here on this plane of existence. We carry our mothers in our heart all the time, and if I have the experience of being a mom, and that's a wonderful thing. And all my children are grown, and I know where they are, and I think this is a really tough time for those new moms, or those moms that are raising children during this pandemic. There's a lot of uncertainties, as we all know, and mothers can't get lost in them. They don't have time to get lost in those uncertainties. They push forward and do what's intuitive. So this is an intuitive practice where we'll concentrate on our breath, and really is a simple concept. With each movement, with every thing that feels good to you, wherever your mind goes, bring your awareness back to your inhale and your exhale, and linger there, and hopefully you'll have an abundant, beautiful practice, and you'll feel the benefits of that breath. We're going to start in easy pose with our hands together. I'm going to rub my hands. This practice does not ask you to stop thinking. This practice does not ask you to do anything other than bring your awareness back to the breath as you inhale and exhale. And if you're feeling like you can do that 100% of the time, start drawing your attention to where the breath is going. And in particular, the top and the bottom of your spine. So drawing that attention that we've been doing with the breath to the top and the bottom of the spine as we go through our practice. Bringing the hands to the heart center, just press gently on the heart center. Let's take a deep breath together. You can hear the birds sing. And you can hear that breath in your body. Spend the next time here just hearing both the external sounds and that internal sound. And when you're ready, open the eyes. And in all this practice, you can keep your eyes closed if you need to feel that breath and go inside. But we're going to begin rotating the body counterclockwise, inhaling as we sing forward and exhaling as we go back. And following the breath. Bringing our awareness to the breath as we move our body around its center. And as we breathe here, moving around the center, think of the center that you're moving around. Bring your awareness to that place along with the breath. Let your breath fill it. Feel your breath empty out. As you move through the center, relax there for a moment, linger, and then exhale and rotate in the opposite direction, coordinating the breath with the movement, or letting the breath coordinate the movement without judgment. Just feeling into the center of your being right now. Noticing the breath. And if it helps, the mantra I've been using is, I breathe in and I breathe out. I breathe in as I go forward, and I breathe out as I go back. As you come forward again, linger here for a moment, not overarching, just feeling that position, that posture. Inhale, I'm going to inhale into my heart center. I'm going to focus on my heart center today. Breathing and expanding that awareness. And exhale and round back. Tuck the chin, channel through. And find awareness of our spine in the sits bones. You might use a cushion. I have several bolsters here today to help me today. Feel more comfortable in my space. We are going to move and articulate the spine with our breath. So we're going to come into a seated position still, but with an awareness on our sits bones. Draw the lower belly in just slightly. Tilt the chin. Let's take the hands overhead. I'm going to link my hands together and place my palms together, interlace the fingers, and I'm going to cross my left thumb over the top. And I'm not squeezing my ears today. I'm just going to lift that energy up and find my central channel from the crown of my head all the way down into the ground. And I'm going to take some breaths here with awareness. If it helps, you can say the mantra, I breathe in, as you feel the breath rise from the ground, from the root, up through the central channel into your heart. And as you exhale, point away, lift the heart to the sky, exhale, and go ahead and fold to the earth. Great opportunity to feel the ground. And I breathe in and I breathe out. Rolling up gently, and we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So we're going to do some light sun salutation and drawing our attention to the breath. So no form is always important, but it should feel delicious and not challenging. The object is to pay attention to the breath and be okay in releasing that breath. It's said that if you have that awareness, that you're able to focus better and your mind becomes one-pointedness kind of reigns. So we're going to come into our hands and knees and use the breath to inform the movement, but also be the movement. So inhale, and you're going to draw the chest upward, arch the back slightly with heart. Exhale, round the spine. And just continue that. I breathe in. Inhale, exhale, I breathe out. Releasing it out to the universe. Inhaling, lengthening out through that inhale, really articulating the spine, using the whole breath. And exhale. Curl the toes back and lift into downward dog. Take 5 deep breaths in. Eyes open or closed. I breathe in. When you're ready, inhale into a plank position. You can lower the knees if you need to, just to fire up the body a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in, lengthen. Exhale, lower to the ground. Let the breath inhale through plank. Exhale, let the breath take you down to the earth. Relinquish to the earth. And then inhale, rise up. Little back bend. Exhale, child's pose. Take a breath in. And exhale into downward dog. One more time like that. Inhale, coming to plank. Exhale all the way to the earth. Relinquish there. Engage. Inhale, let it lift up. Exhale, child's pose. Airplanes fly to see when you're ready, come back to the hands and knees one more time. And we're going to go ahead and inhale and exhale, cat and cow. And in this, if you want to take any kind of position, feel the breath in your body. Open up your body in a way that you can get the breath all the way down. Push into the earth. Feel all the contact. Let your breath flow and be aware of it. Try some different positions with your hands. Maybe move your neck with the breath. and be aware of what the breath wants to do. Some nice long deep Kalima breaths. You can inhale and open the mouth and exhale out, stick your tongue out. That's a great way to experience what your breath wants to do. And then come to a still point, curl the toes back, and sit back on the heels. Bring the knees together if you can. If this position hurts, modify it with your hands. And curl the toes back, give a little stretch into the feet. First thing that comes out of bed in the morning is your feet onto Mother Earth. It's nice to give them a little honor and a little love, so we're stretching the feet. And just lingering here for a moment. I breathe in and I breathe out. Place the hands on the earth, come into downward dog. Gonna do a little hip circles. Inhale the right leg up to the sky. Flex the foot, draw the heel in, and open the hip outward. You can look through one armpit. And then you're going to just make big sweeping circles with the hip, with the breath. And the other way. About 3 of them. And then bring it through to a lunge position. Drop the back knee down. And take a sweep of the arms. Watch the front knee. Make sure it's over the ankle or your foot is flat on the ground. You can turn the toe out a little bit if you wanted to. Widen your stance a little bit. Inhale to come all the way up. Lifting up. I still have my toe curled back. Exhale, slowing down, stepping back into plank again, inhaling, same thing. Exhaling at the bottom, relax all the way into the mat for a nanosecond. And inhale, take a gentle back bend. You could come into upward dog if you wanted here. Exhale into child's pose. Inhale. And exhale, downward dog. Same thing with the other leg. You're going to inhale, lift the leg up, flex the foot, open the hip wide. Look through the armpit. I'm opening up the hip, taking some breaths here. And I'm going to begin my circle. Maybe noticing your breath on this side. I purposely didn't tell you when to breathe here. Let the body dictate. 3 in one direction. And 3 in the opposite direction. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring that leg through to a lunge position. Place it any way that you need to. Drop the back knee down. Toe is curled. Watch the front knee. Make sure it's right over the ankle. Engage through the core. Energetically slide your inner thighs together. Lift up. Inhale. Exhale. Step back and plank. Inhale. Exhale to the earth. Inhale, cobra. One more inhale if you're still here. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Curl the toes back. Exhale, downward dog. Walk the feet into the hands, soften the knees and hang forward. Let your belly rest on your thighs. Whoop, falling over. And then when you're ready, you're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Soften the knees. Find some comfort in the lower back and support. You may need to put your hands on your thighs here. Find some support in the spine to lengthen towards the floor before rolling up. And use the breath. Maybe you have to take several breaths. You don't have to be in the same breath. I breathe in. I breathe out. And then at the top of your mat, we're going to go ahead and do one sun salutation. So, coming to the end of the mat, bring the feet together in your mountain pose. It's always challenging on the earth because it's uneven, and I like it that way. So, it allows me to figure out what I need to do with my feet today. So I'm going to plant my feet and get really grounded. Again, going back to that breath. So lingering here in mountain pose. Maybe close your eyes and feel your body. Start with the head, lifting the head up towards the sky. Find some push into the ground, but a relax in the knees. Feel the structure of your body holding you strong. It should feel nice and relaxed. And if it doesn't, let's go back to the breath again. Inhaling into that heart center. Breathe in. I breathe out. Take a deep breath in, up to the sky. Exhale and fold any way that feels comfortable to you. Relinquish in this posture. Allow the lower half of your body to hold you strong and let your mind melt to the back of your brain and feel the gentle flow of your breath, unrestricted. Reaching out, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, step back, plank. Again, inhaling, we know this. Exhaling, releasing to the earth. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, out pose. Inhaling, tabletop. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, bring it through to a lunge position. Adjust yourself any way that you need to. Drop the back knee down. You can point the toe if you want. I like to push my toe into the earth so I can lift that knee up. Inhale. If you feel comfortable here, you can stay here, or you can lift up, pushing back through that back heel, still energetically drawing my inner thighs together. Lengthening, finding length in my spine to create that breath. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I'm going to place the hands down on the ground. Rotate the foot out. Inhale up, warrior. Find your warrior. Mother's love is fierce, so warrior seemed appropriate. So push your feet into the ground. And again, intrinsically draw your inner thighs together. And turn your focus out over that right hand. And use your breath to find that balance and equilibrium here. Pushing into the front thigh and the back foot. Inhale, lift that front arm up. Exhale, descend down, stepping back into plank again. Inhale, exhale, down. Inhale, exhale, child's pose. Inhaling, tabletop. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Bring it through to a lunge position. Again, drop the back knee down. You may have a different side here. Honor that different side. Push the foot into the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Find that equal push-pull as you inhale to lift up. Help stabilize through the bottom half of the body. So the upper half can be free to breathe. And if you're feeling good here, you can lift that back knee. I breathe in. I breathe out. I breathe in. Exhale to the ground. Plant the foot. Again, we're going to rise up into warrior. Push the feet into the earth. Go ahead and come up. Make your subtle adjustments. I breathe in. I breathe out. Front arm, the palm goes up. Lifting up to the sky. I breathe in. I breathe out. Windmill down. Plant the hands. Step back. Plank. Inhale. Exhale to the earth. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Let's linger here for a moment. And then coming back up onto the hands and knees. Let's do the third and final cat and cow. So I'm going to be more serpentine in this one with my breath. So it really is just trial and error with the breath, and each time you think about the movement, think about the breath, and take the breath into the movement. Try not to hold your breath. So we'll be here for a moment. It's very nice not to have any music to guide us, just letting your breath be the sound that moves you and that you hear. So listen inside the body, so close the eyes. We're going to start with an arch, and then we're going to drop the chest to the left and circle it around in a big circle, finding where the inhale feels right to you. So right now I'm making chest circles, kind of like I did when I was sitting down, but I'm going to incorporate other planes of movement in this. And I really didn't think about which way I was going. I just am thinking about my breath. And I find my mind is distracted, maybe by bugs or a sound, I'm going to take my mind, my awareness back to the breath. And I breathe in. Breathe out. Staying in that direction. I'm going to move in circles. And then returning to the circular movement in the other direction. I breathe in and I breathe out. finally coming to center. One breath in. And exhale, curl back, downward dog. Take some breaths here, eyes open. I breathe in. I breathe out. When you're ready, we're going to come to a seated position, and I forgot to put anything on to keep the mosquitoes away, so I'm getting bit up. Okay. My breath was very conscious. I was blowing the mosquito away, so I didn't have to smack it, which I probably have to smack on because they're biting me. So I was listening to a podcast, and I was in the car, and it was traffic, and I was not feeling well because I had a very stressful week last week, and I learned a breath, and I knew it before, but I like this one, and it's basically what they give people, first responders. They teach it to first responders. I think they taught it to firefighters, and it helped lower their stress levels and their cortisol, but it also helped them maintain calmness in difficult situations, and I thought that it would be a good one for Mother's Day. And it involves breathing, of course, and you can do it anywhere, and it's said that if you do it up to 5 minutes that you get maximum benefits from that, and it seems like that's like kind of the mantra. 5 minutes is good enough for, some relief, for noticeable relief, which is important. So this one is a Cetali Breath, so I'm assuming it was also given for road rage, and I guess I've had a period of road rage before. It's hard not to in Orlando, but I think this is a very useful one for not just anger, but maybe anxiety too, when you're feeling stressed, and it's a good way to relax and bring calmness into your life. So it's the same premise. I breathe in, I breathe out. It's over about a period of 10 seconds, though I wouldn't say that there needs to be any structure on it. And so you're going to breathe in like a straw. So you're just going to sip in. In Cetali Breath, you curl the tongue, but this doesn't involve that. You're just sipping in through the straw over a period of about 5 seconds. And then you're going to exhale through the mouth or through the nose, however you see fit. The difference with this one than last week is I'm doing these with my eyes closed. I want to listen to my breath. I want to be aware of my breath. And as I can bring that awareness with open eyes, and then I can bring it into all my activities, then I know that I have that awareness and that calmness, or at least that's what I'm going to strive for. So, and at the same time, striving for anything is also futile, so I guess that's why we practice, because to let go of those expectations. So allowing the hands to rest in the knees, it's recommended that you do this seated up. Again, we're going to bring our awareness to this top of the spine and the bottom of the spine. I'm going to put my hands in a mudra. You could choose Gya Mudra. Today I'm going to bring my my ring finger and pinky finger at the tip of my thumb, and my other 2 fingers are stretched. This is said to move prana in the body and energize the body. So I'm gonna use the extra power of the mudra and the beautiful power of a Sunday, a Mother's Day. And I direct my attention to my breath, close my eyes, and let them rest in front of my eyes, just gently. And inhale through the mouth, like you're sipping a straw. awareness back into this room and present company. The outdoor sounds a little less intense and a little bit more like it should after that. So we're going to do a little stretch to facilitate some relaxation. So it's meant for relaxation and not for flexibility. We're just going to release some of the tense muscles. So we're going to take one foot into the thigh. The legs are open in a straddle. So I'm not facing my leg, I'm facing forward. My hip bones are going forward. Bend the knee if you need to. I'm going to push the heel into the floor to feel that grounding. Take a deep breath up in and lift up and hold that breath. Just find your grounding here. So if you need to put a cushion under you, you want to feel really rooted here and be aware of the breath. I breathe in. I breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Let the hand that is the extended leg go down on the leg, and then a little lean over. You may need to take your hand behind. I'm not touching anything, I'm just shortening the lever so that my rib cage can open up gently. I'm not taking a great lean, not using anything. Some people can take a bind here, and that's fine. What I want to do is feel grounded and be aware of my breath. So I want my breath to dictate how far I go. And I'm going to inhale and be aware of where the breath is going. And exhale. Taking my gaze down. Feel the gravity to open up. Relinquishing the need to completely let go. Inhale, coming back up. Slide the leg underneath you if you can and cross the leg over. We're going to take a twist in the same direction. So I'm going to wrap that arm that was up around your knee, draw your belly into the inner thigh here, feel the sits bones, and then as you exhale, make that slow turn. And again, I breathe in and I breathe out, continuing the journey around. As I do this, I'm going to really be squeezing the rib cage and the rib cage together here to create a little bit more structure so I can free up my neck and shoulders. In this posture, you're going to sip in the air through a straw and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, blink your eyes open, and exhale to return to the center. Come into a seated position and linger there for a moment. We'll do the other side. You continue the breath in through the mouth and out through the nose, or just the awareness of the breath with your eyes closed. Allow yourself the sensations that you feel. Allow yourself to feel lopsided. That's the way I feel. And that's from my perspective. And let that go and go back to the breath. So we'll repeat that to the other side. So the other leg is going to go into the thigh, or as close as your knee will bend. And again, the hips are forward. You're going to lift the arms up, find that rooting. I do have a little cushion underneath me. I don't always, but it's helping me find my tailbone, and that's what I want to find is my sits bone. So that cushion is a reminder to find that grounding. So if whatever you need to do, I like to wad up a mat. That's actually very helpful. So we're going to inhale the hands up, and again, being aware of the breath. I breathe in. I breathe out. And again, the arm that is the extended leg is going to go down to the leg for support. I draw my elbow into my rib cage as I go down to give me extra support so that this rib cage will not open up so much, drawing my abs in towards one another. So I find it very helpful when we're doing breath. You don't want to relax so much that you expand your rib cage so that you get hyper flexible and in it and don't know when to shut that off. So this is a good time to really think about the breath. As you inhale, you'll feel the rib cage expand, and as you exhale, you should feel it kind of expand. You should feel it come together. And so you will feel it expand, but what you don't want to do is let the rib cage open up too much. Or you can, and then you can spend your lifetime trying to reverse that. So take a deep breath in, inhale, and exhale to fold over to the side. Again, you might have to shorten your lever so that you get that nice opening without too much opening here. I'm really going to squeeze my rib cage together, not go too deep. Grounding. I breathe in. I breathe out. Finding ease in that. I breathe in. I breathe out. Taking your focus down towards that extended leg. And then feel in the breath any resistance. Inhaling, coming all the way up. We're going to take that twist, folding the bent leg underneath you, taking the other leg on top. Take a deep breath in. We're going to draw that top leg into our belly. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, and as you breathe out, just begin your turn around. Find root in the ground, be aware of the ground. I breathe in. I breathe out to travel around my center, looking for resistance, but letting it be what it is, and being aware of the breath. I breathe in, I breathe out, and if you feel like you're in that furthest position, close the eyes and take a sip in through the mouth, like through a straw, as we did before. And then blink the eyes open. And as you inhale, stay in the position. As you exhale, return back to center, coming back to a seated position. And again, we're going to go back to closing our eyes and just breathing in and breathing out. Feel the spine lengthen up towards the sky. Now that you've done a twist on both sides, you probably feel some balance and some new sensations. Take the mind's eye back to the breath. And the words, I breathe in, I breathe out. I breathe in, I breathe out. And then blink your eyes open. We're going to come onto our belly. So we're going to do just a little bit of hip opening. And if you have a condition that prevents you from doing more than gentle back bend, I invite you to lay on your side or on your back. We're going to be stretching through the quads, but it is a hip opener and a chest opener, and we're going to use that breath to help guide us. So we're not looking for a posture and pose, we're looking to feel the breath in a challenging posture. So you're on your belly and you want to pay attention to your lower back. So if this bothers you here, this is a great place to stay and work. I have my hands on my hips to feel my hips anchored into the earth. I'm pushing my feet into the ground. Taking them a little wider than hip really helps to begin. And I'm just going to practice some breaths here, being aware of lifting my head off the ground. So the natural state for the head would be in on the backs of the hands. Take some breaths in here. Inhale, I breathe in. Breathe out. I breathe in. Breathe out. Keeping the hands on the forehead, we're going to inhale and lift up off the ground, keeping our feet on the ground, inhaling up. Exhaling, just as we did in the push-up, all the way down, relinquishing to the ground. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Bringing the head up, bringing the elbows in to prop up. I am in Sphinx. You can interlace the hands together. I find that that is helpful for this. We're just going to have a nice gentle back bend here and pay attention to our lower back and not go into the full posture. We're going to use the breath, and then I will do the full posture after on the third one. So the second one will be alternating legs. So we're going to push the elbows into the ground, and I'm drawing my shoulder blades slightly apart, so I still want my elbows fairly narrow. It does help to have Sphinx hands, and Sphinx hands are where your hands are on the ground and they are parallel to each other, about a block's width apart. This is very challenging, especially for people with broad shoulders or people that lift weights, but it's a really beneficial thing to work on every day, as it really helps loosen up the shoulder muscles that we overuse a lot with lifting. So pushing into that, you can clasp your hands. I find that also is good, although it doesn't help you relax. So we're going to try to relax into this by bending one leg as we inhale and looking up, and then exhaling and bringing the chin gently to our chest. The whole thing is supposed to be very gentle, so it shouldn't feel difficult, but in the beginning, keeping a really long breath with a really short movement to engage our range of motion is super important. So here we go. So your feet are on the ground and they're very firm, and the head is neutral right now except for my back bend. So let's take a couple of breaths here. I breathe in, Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Draw one leg towards the head, the head towards the foot. Exhale. Breathe out. Let's do that again, same side. Inhale. Lower down onto your belly, let the head come into a neutral position. And then rising back up again. Take your hands in an alternative position. So choose a position you haven't had before. And again, inhale, bring the other leg up. Exhale. Breathe in. I breathe out. Shoulder blades drawing apart, elbows pressed into the ground. Inhale. And exhale. Again, after 3, go down onto the belly again. Shimmy this hips side to side. Shake your tush. And then push gently back into child's pose. Relax there for a moment. I breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, bow pose. So if you are not able to do bow pose, you can, if you are not able to get your foot back to hold onto it, we're going to do both feet at the same time. You can lay on your side to stretch your quad muscle. That is one way to do it. Or you can go back to the original exercise that we just did, which is actually harder than this one. So you want to make sure that you're not feeling anything in your lower back that feels intense or pinching. So you might want to move around a little bit just to see how you feel. And then we're going to come onto the belly, and the same principle applies. We're going to use our breath, so it's not about height, it's just about our breath. And the breath is going to tell us how high we can go. And I'm going to grab my feet at the ankles, so I'm going to get really a good grip on them, and I'm going to flex my foot on this one. So I'm going to flex my foot and push my feet into my hands. So that's what's going to lift me up. And this is where I'm going to stay, because I'm going to focus on my breath. And this is good enough. So I breathe in, breathe out. Pulling on my feet, breathe in, pushing with my feet, I breathe out. Lowering down, turning your head to one side, not the side with the vicious kitty on it. And when you're ready, you're going to come down to Shavasana. And Shavasana is probably the most important thing you can do to help yourself relax. So they recommend that after you breathe, many lineages, many books that I've read, many people I've listened to, want to learn to relax our bodies. And so coming into Shavasana here, and again, all you're going to do is breathe in and breathe out. And as you come into Shavasana, you can again just let your eyes gaze out with your eyes closed, just past your eye. No place to focus. And let the tide of your breath be what you listen to, that inner tide. Breathe in and breathe out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Again, bringing your awareness back into your body. We're going to bring our knees into our chest. And maybe tuck your nose towards your knees. Go ahead and open the arms out to the side. Take a nice twist over to one side. Be attentive of the shoulders, and again, attend to the breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. As you inhale, come through the center, and exhale to the other side again, being attentive to your breath. Inhale through the center and take any final movement that you need to before coming up to a seated position. And we'll close together. And the beautiful thing about that breath is I have no idea how long this took at all. It's irrelevant. Maybe not to you, but to me. And that is one of the wonderful things about yoga, is that the things that are at the forefront of our mind are there for a reason, of course. But that breath helps us return to ourself, and it also helps to bring a little calm to a really chaotic world at times. So I'm so glad we could do this together today. Coming into a seated posture, we're going to bring the hands again, rub them together. And I brought my drum out to play, but I didn't need to because the birds were here. And they've been like all over the place, probably because Nala is here and in their garden, in her garden. And then bringing the hands to the heart center. Draw a breath in, press gently on the sternum, lengthen through the crown of the head. And exhale. And breathe in. And breathe out. You breathe in. You breathe out. We breathe in. We breathe out. And for each and all of you, I wish you a happy Mother's Day. I hope that universal love is touching you in a way that makes you feel comfort and you're able to receive that love. And I will see you next Sunday. Have a great, great day and week.